Today we're going to take a trip down memory lane, back to 2013 when I got my real estate license and where I was both professionally and personally. So when I got my license, the number one thing I was concerned with, how am I going to make money and make it fast? We were on food stamps, had no money, broke as a joke, so I needed money. How was I going to make it fast in the real estate world? And then I got the secret. Work my ass off. That's how you make money in this industry. Doesn't matter if you're broke or not. You have to be willing to put in the work. Was it 9 to 5? Nope. Was it 3 a.m. till 9 at night? Yep. But that's what it took for me. Other people may not take as much, but I was going through a whole new career change, a whole new way of life, and it took 18-hour days, 7 days a week for years for me to get to where I'm at today. So when I hear people say, oh, must be nice, Mark, must be nice, y'all don't remember that. Y'all don't remember 18-hour days for 5 years plus, do ya? And guess what? If you did, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do the work to get where I'm at today. I'm not saying this to be a conceited prick, but guess what? Most people that sit there and go, must be nice, you couldn't do the work. Flat out, you wouldn't do the work to get where I'm at. So you're damn right, it must be nice. It must be nice to be where I'm at today because I put in the hustle, the hard work, and the struggle to get here. The sacrifices of holidays, weekends, nights, family time. All of that was pushed aside to get where we're at today. So when you want to say must be nice, stick that up your The second thing I was scared to death was, what am I gonna do with like the rest of my family and everything else? So you better make sure you have your family on board when you get into the real estate world. Because guess what? The second you sit down to dinner, that phone's gonna ring and somebody's gonna want to see a house in 30 minutes. Guaranteed. So you better have a support staff of family and friends willing to help out. If you have kids, to be able to jump in and help and watch your kids on the fly. Because I'm telling you, it will happen at the most inopportune times. That's why a lot of agents don't make it in this industry because they're not willing to answer the phone when it rings. Probably the number one complaint you hear from a consumer is, I tried to call X, Y, and Z and they never called me back. They don't ever answer their phone. Agents, keep not answering your phone because then the people call me. I answer and then we sell them a house. So all the agents who don't answer, keep not answering. That's fine, we'll take your client. And for all the rest of you out there that think that like this is rainbows, unicorns, and butterflies, that's not the realistic real estate world. You have to be ready to put in hard work, consistency. Mo's rolling his eyes. I'm out.
No, that's not what I was saying. He wanted you to continue going on.
Nobody else is in here rolling their eyes at me.
I was looking at my other camera, dude. No, but do people not answer the phones like while they have a client that's working with them already?
Yes. I was actually on a listing appointment yesterday, and it's a listing that we've got coming up here soon. And the clients flat out told, we were the listing agent when they purchased the home. They had another agent that helped them buy it. They came to us when it was time to sell because we were more helpful than their agent was when they bought it. Period. Right? We are the solution, not the problem to a real estate transaction. Right? The other agent, I think, talked a lot about negative, a lot about the issues and made excuses and this, blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't do that shit. We get through the problem and live in the solution. That's probably that's one of our core values, right? Deal with the problem, live in the solution. But agents don't answer their phone. Guess what? It's okay not to answer your phone if you're an agent, even if you have a client calling you at 8 o'clock at night, if you've set the proper expectations. That's where I see the biggest problem. Agents are afraid to tell their client or give their client boundaries and explain, hey, after 7 o'clock at night, I may not be available. Shoot me a text. If it's an emergency, of course we'll get it handled as soon as possible. If not, you can expect a call back from me tomorrow morning after 9 o'clock. But if you don't set those clear expectations on the front end, the consumer, your client, they all think we work 24/7. Remember, most people, all they think about is themselves most of the time. So your client's not doing it to be a jerk, but when the stuff pops up and they're the ones spending the money to buy the house, like they want you to be readily available. But if you tell them, hey, I'm not gonna be available, set the clear expectation, most of the time I've had a client and I've told them that, they've go, Mark, you know what, I respect that. You work your off. I know you're out there working hard for me and you deserve some time with your family. That wasn't the case when I was brand new. I have earned the right to put up boundaries. The second thing that I was scared to death about becoming a realtor was having an intelligent conversation with other people, right? I had lived in a 22-year alcoholic haze. Not haze on my team, haze. And my social skills were like not that good, right? I knew how to like drink and hang out and party with people, but I didn't know how to carry on an intelligent conversation. But what's funny is once I took the alcohol out of me, I realized I was still smart. I was still funny. I could still make people laugh. My humor got me through a lot of those first couple years in real estate because I could laugh at myself, right? Even if I'd make a mistake, I could laugh at myself. One of the biggest things I learned from dealing with clients early on in real estate was they don't expect you to know everything. And that was another fear, another like drunk monkey thought I had in my head, like, oh my God, I gotta know everything. How I gotta go to this house and I have to memorize the square footage of every single room because if they ask me, I wanna be able to spit it out at them. Come on. I did that for like the first 2 houses. Literally knew every single statistic about the house. Get in there, show it, they love it, they wanna write an offer, and they didn't ask me one question about the house, right? And then I realized, okay, that's kind of a waste of time. Print your MLS sheet, have it handy, reference it if needed, but no one's gonna expect you to know every single thing about a house and rattle it off the top of your head if you're working with a buyer that's looking to potentially buy a home, right? And if you don't know the answer, this is the hack. One of the top ways to build trust with that particular client. You know what? This is what you say. That's a great question. I don't have that answer, but I will get it for you as fast as possible. I'll call you in 2 hours with that information. Then what do? You get the damn info as fast as you can, call them back before 2 hours, and they pick up the phone, hey, it's John, hey, I just wanna make sure I got you that information as soon as possible. Here's the answer to XYZ. Now guess what? You've built credibility because you called them back like you said you were going to. Probably more credibility because you did it in a shorter amount of time. And 2, you got them the information they were looking for. And the third benefit from doing all that, now you know the info and you can stick it in your tool belt and save it for the next time you're working with a client, right? That's one of the things that I enjoyed was doing a little bit of the research. If somebody asked me something about a specific subdivision that I didn't know, guess what? You find that answer, you do the research, you stick it in here. You're gonna have it for the next guy. So that's why the learning curve to become a realtor is a lot on the front end. There's so much to take in, not only on the real estate side, but on the community side. You've got to start learning about neighborhoods and what makes them tick and, you know, who's living over here, who's living over there, you know, where people want to be. Why do people always want to be in XYZ subdivision? Well, because the grade school is good and that's a family-oriented neighborhood. Oh, you know, think about it. Like, you don't think about those things until you're in the business and selling real estate. Another aspect of becoming a realtor that I was concerned about when I first got started was, How am I going to provide the best client experience and the best service possible? See, I came from a prior service industry, right? I was the service manager for a yacht sales company. And what I learned in that industry was sales sells your first yacht, but service sells boat number 2, boat number 3, boat number 4, and so on, right? The salesman isn't gonna come back and pitch, but if you give great service and they know they're gonna have a consistent experience, they will refer friends. They will also come back to buy again. And that was in the boating industry. So I kind of put the same thing over into my real estate business, right? I knew in order to get referrals, I had to give the best service possible. So when it got to a point where I could no longer service my clients at the highest level, I knew it was time to get an assistant. And after just an assistant wasn't enough to service our clients at the highest level, we added a transaction coordinator. And then the team just started to grow and balloon from there. But everybody has their specialty. One of the things that makes us different is we let the people that are good at one job stay focused on that one job, right? Agents are typically really good at selling. That doesn't mean they're good at paperwork. Honestly, most of them suck at it. So guess what? We give the paperwork to somebody who specializes in it. That way they can handle all of the paperwork and all of the minutia and get that property to closing, while the agents can focus on building a relationship and working with other clients. And that really has, to me, differentiates our team from some of the other teams I've seen around. Now you're gonna get pushback from some agents in our market. Some like, I don't like how your team works, blah, blah, blah. Oh God, blah. Well, guess what? Sorry. I don't have to do my business the way you do business, right? And most of the time when we get any pushback, one, it's an old school agent who's been around for a while and doesn't do a lot of transactions on a yearly basis. So therefore, hate to say it, the industry's changed a little bit while you were over there sleeping. Like, you know, your 3 deals you've done in the last 5 years, like, yeah, this is a lot different than what it used to be, right? The business and the industry is changing on a daily basis. The other one is, a lot of times I found is, the agents that don't have any help, they don't like how we do it. Why? Jealousy? Maybe because they're the ones having to go do all the things and all the stuff and move all the files and do all the stuff, and my agents are out either A, helping more people or spending time with their family, and this guy's over here running a rat race in circles because he's got, 5 properties under contract with no admin help. So instead of providing excellent customer service, he's providing mediocre client service, but he's gonna complain about the way we do things. That's okay, we'll just keep winning. You keep mediocring and you'll see me at the finish line ahead of you.
Right. If there was a finish line, and that's kind of also the thing I wanted. There is no finish line. It's not like you get, obviously you sell a house and you feel good for like a day or two, right? And then you'll have to go right back to it. How do you snowball your listings? What's the best way to snowball listings and like snowball sales? Or is it just working?
KFG, keep flipping going. Never stop. The number one way to increase your business and have the snowball effect, whether it's listings or buyers, is, drum roll please, daily, consistent prospecting. The boring part, picking up your phone, making calls for 3+ hours every day is the guaranteed way to get you consistent business. There is no other way. If you are not making your calls, if you are not consistently following up with potential leads and adding people into your database, your business will not grow. Period. And right now, as the market shifts and changes, there are too many agents out there talking about last year. Guess what, folks? Last year's over. And your real estate career is gonna be over if you don't focus on right now, today, and what you're gonna do tomorrow, what you're gonna do the rest of this year. Don't worry about what you did last year. That shit's in the past.